God.
Cute question naman to eh. Cute naman. Sino yung mga totga nyo? Yung mga the ones you really rooted for pero didn't make it and biggest heartbreak niya sila. Go.
Oh my God, wait. I need to really recollect my thoughts about it. By year pa yan, talagang, see, the one that got away for me.
Ako, I have an answer
I think,
immediately.
Voltaire, you go first.
The
Because
one that comes to mind immediately for that yung Totga is Serene Sutton. To me, epitomized the type of beauty queen that we need. And you can send her in almost any of the pageants and she'll do really well. Unfortunately, right at that moment, it didn't work out in her favor. And I got to know her much deeper after, because right after Q&A, I went backstage and I saw her and she was just like looking dazed. And I told her, nothing I tell you right now will make anything better or will make you feel better. But just know that you keep trusting and believing in God's purpose for you. That's all you can say to somebody like that. And when she explained to me what went through her mind during the Q&A, because the question to her was, if do you think it is proper or right for parents to demand financial assistance from their children? And when she explained to me her side, it made perfect sense. And I wish she would have just said anything. Actually, it's a ganda niya, sabi ko. Had she only said her name during that time, may score na yun eh, kasi sobrang ganda niya eh. But ultimately, like with these Totgas, like the ones that got away, and alam dito ni Tita and Norman, we always go back to the destiny. It's like you can prepare as much as you want. You can have the most expensive gown with 10 fittings. You can have the best makeup artist, all the best teachers for your Q&A. But at the end of the day, if you get to the finals and you didn't deliver, that's just how it is, unfortunately. But I love her.
Yeah.
Alam mo,
Yeah.
ako kasi, Nicole, I'm having difficulty really naming specific girls na talagang Totga. Kasi para sa akin nga, as Voltaire said, it's really destiny if a girl wins or not. Pag hindi siya nanalo, it's not meant for her. Pero the closest siguro to a Totga I could think of at this point, the fresh pa, would be Aya Abisamis. Aya, because
Yes.
I just feel bad that she has the title now, but she could not represent her country abroad.
Yeah.
She should. She should. Kumbaga, she's the closest thing to a Totga that I could think of right now. Kasi nahihinayang lang ako. Dapat siya nagpunta dapat sa Venezuela last year. Although, of course, yung setting aside whatever the controversies are, pero alam ko na dapat siya nagpunta doon sa Venezuela. Pero ngayon, she has a title now, but saan siya lalaban? Parang wala, parang naging trophy na lang sa kanya yung crown, title, session, everything. So yun, that's naisip ko bigla yun right now.
Kung ako talaga, I think it's been well documented. My favorite has always been Dindy Pajares, and I think I understood naman yung reason why she didn't get in, but I also don't want to just accept that. The problem kasi, Nicole, with these girls who try like once or twice or thrice na hindi nakakapasok, yung naninervyos ko na parang baka ayaw na nilang mag-try ulit. So, I don't know if there are any rumors na babalik pa siya. But I am still hoping as long as hindi papaso sa age si Dindy, because I still follow her. She's no longer very active in the pageantry scene, but I kind of try and look for clues if they're like sobrang into their fitness, or maybe if they are more active, because
Stalker
a lot
mode.
of these girls, diba, sobrang stalker mode. Hindi, algorithm ng IG yan, hindi stalker.
Sige na nga.
Diba, you check one
Algorithm of
photo and
IG
then they
based on
give
your
you
stalking.
exactly. So, but basta parang I try to look at a little bit of clues na parang, uy, makaspark ng something. But I keep it to myself na lang. But yeah, Dindy, sayang because hindi siya nabigyan ng platform na parang mas mag-advance pa. I know the second try was a little questionable when it came to styling, but I feel na yung disiplina sa katawan and yung international na ilalaban mo, ganun yung itsura ng katawan. Parang medyo na-miss ko yung ganong feel.
Okay, next question ko, no names allowed naman. So, di ba, at the beginning of this interview, I told you guys na alam kong marami rin kayong mga unwritten na lines sa article nyo because I know that you're bound by the strong ethic na to protect the girls, di ba? Pero I'm just curious as a co-tita of yours, ano yung mga horror stories na na-encounter nyo with girls? Para lang din
Sa akin,
tips for, minsan kasi feeling ko hindi aware din yung girls na nagagawa nila yun. Lalo na kung medyo testing the waters ka pa, you don't know how to move around this industry yet. Yun. Para mas self-aware lang tayo.
sa akin kasi, Nicole, fortunately, maniwala ka man o hindi, all of the girls are always very nice to me. And I don't know if it's because of my seniority, if it's because I look like more than a tita or a tito, baka talagang very very parental na talaga ang dating ko sa
Imamano
kanila.
ka na, imamano.
Oo, konti na lang yung ganoon na lang. And they have never really shown a mean side ever since.
That's good.
No, siguro me being a psychology practitioner, I can always tell if a girl is not in the mood for talking or is not in the mood for answering questions or is just simply not in the mood for anything. So ako, very, very quick ako, hindi ko na muna siya lalapitan, hindi ko na muna siya kakausapin. Kung sa chat naman yan, it's so easy. Kapag sinинzone ka, ano na yan eh, that's already a sign na wala siya sa mood for something like that. So, but in general, I have never seen any pageant candidate who has been averse to talking to me or having pleasantries with me. They always enjoy or welcome the fact that if I started to chat with them, there must be something interesting that to follow, which means it could be a post, it could be a blog article. Alam nila talaga, associated nila ako. Pag in-approach ko sila, may katumbas na yon na exposure. That's why they're very nice to me. Pero I don't put it in that sense na parang, hahabulin nila ako palagi dahil because of yung kapalit na gano'n. Because I've never really approached them saying na, I want to blog you para magkaroon ka naman exposure. I never do that because I just want everything to be very relaxed, very cool, very casual. That's why pag in-approach ko, actually, itong isang pageant na ito, pag in-approach ko na yung mga unknown girls, kulang na lang talaga maluha sila sa tuwa na parang, salamat po.
But
Akala
that
ko hindi
means
nyo na
so
ako
much kasi talaga.
Oo. Ako kasi, I really try to approach all of them. Kasi, alam mo naman yung mga medyo, may mga pageant media who are also doing showbiz talaga. So, ang kanilang immediate na interest would be to candidates who are either familiar faces, familiar names, or may connection sa showbiz. So, paano na yung mga unknown ladies? Gusto ko kasi ma-enjoy nila yung journey para at least may exposure silang lahat. So,
Guys, see
there.
kung bakit sila yung mga pinili ko. Kasi parang hindi lang sila yung mga media na nakakausap ko, ini-interview ako, na feel ko talaga na inaalagaan nila ako. Kaya hanggang ngayon, friends kami, di ba? 4 years ago pa ako kinoronahan. So I would just like to take this time then to thank you. Kasi believe it or not, guys, ngayon kasi nakikita ng mga tao, medyo madami na akong followers compared to dati. When I entered pageantry, I think mga 1,000 plus lang yung followers ko. And hindi ako yung strongest contender talaga. Hindi ako flag bearer. I never felt that way. And then, media tends, lalo na yung mga big house media talaga, like yung mainstream, I won't mention it na, pero they would really call out girls from the line na interviewin namin si number ganito, ganito, ganito. Tapos, syempre, ako, I did feel bad. Although, syempre, I know that it's part of the competition. And given my personality, I'm like, aba, next time ako talaga yung nalapitan nyo. Ganon. So, it's about how you receive it naman, di ba? Pero
Yeah.
it really means a lot kasi na-feel din namin na you went out of your way talaga just to give us a voice also and give us a chance, a fair
Nicole,
chance.
I have something to share sa part na sinabi mo about yung sa mga big media houses na.
Media.
I won't specify na the networks. Pero alam niyo naman kung sino mga networks ang talagang nagko-cover ng mga pageants natin. Kasi I always feel very pleased when their representatives would approach me and whisper to my ear, so who are the strong ones here? Who should I interview? Kasi alam ko, pag tinanong nila ako ng ganon, I gain that small power to at least pull the front runners side, pero magsasama ako na hindi masyado pang
Hindi masyadong
kilalang
halo.
kilala para magkaroon ng mix
Balance.
sa mga
Yes.
interviewin on TV. So yun lang yung share ko doon. Natutuwa ako pag gano'n because meron ka nasasama na isa or dalawa na you wanna, I want this girl to shine. So sige, isama natin siya sa lineup. Ipupush ko talaga kahit pa sobrang haba na yung lineup na yon na makikita sa TV, magka-panoramic, ano siya, go lang yon pag ganoon. Kasi
Oo.
I feel
parang,
happy.
nakita kita sa ganito, ganyan.
Yes,
Napan
yes.
ka doon. Pero like, less
Yes.
than 1 second lang. Pero, part ako. May
Yes,
documentation.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yun.
and tip din for the girls, wag niyo masyadong damdamin yun. Although I know it's so easy to get carried away with that. Kasi the beauty then with Binibining Pilipinas, I think it's the pageant talaga na sobrang unpredictable ng winners. Yun yung ay ni Madam talaga eh. So, and ng judges, syempre. Pero alam mo yun, yung parang there's something about Madam knowing how to discern. I don't know. Pero yun yung may mga dark horses ka na ma-appreciate na sometimes even the media did not identify as a dark horse. So it's not over till it's over. Eh, lalo na yung may mga runner-up, di ba? Na bigla, hoy, saan ang galing to? Di ba? So parang yun yung that's why I love Binibining Pilipinas so much. Kasi walang naiiwan, walang nale-left out talaga. Kahit kami, like sa batch namin, syempre kami may ma-identify na kami na ito pasok. And you can pretty much figure out kung sino-sino na yung may corona. Pero nasisira pa rin yung listahan na yon.
So, ako naman, I'm gonna throw you a bone because I think this is lingering and I haven't really talked about this, but I will talk about it for your channel. So, there was a pageant personality that everybody was like really rooting for, everybody waited for, and with everything happening, this personality was supposed to join major competition, and everybody waited for her. And I don't know what the plan was, if it was something that was planned or if it was something na talagang pinuntahan niya lang just because, last minute naisip niya, puntahan ko na rin. Diba? Might as well. So, I won't go into details, but the thing was that a lot of people were also feeding us information that it was planned, that it was orchestrated. So, but for my end naman din kasi, I think we have established a brand at Titas of Pageantry na medyo naughty. But that doesn't mean that it will always be an attack on you. So, there was a blind item about everything, not just for that issue. And then things blew out of proportion because the person replied in a lengthy matter, as if hindi kami nag-uusap, as if hindi kami nagtatawagan, as if wala kaming naitulong sa isa't isa. So nakakairita because it blew over a big network wrote an article about it without even consulting us, without even getting our side of the story. So painting the girl as someone that we bullied without realizing that wasn't from us. That was the observation of the fan. So sayang lang yung relationship. So what I'm gonna try to impart is that if there are any blind items, kahit na ultimo color ng hair mo, feeling mo ikaw na yun, huwag kang magre-reply. Huwag kang don't out yourself. Yun lang naman.
kanina I was thinking actually na itanggal ko na lang ba tong part ng interview. But now I have come to realize na even though we're friends, we don't agree with each other all the time naman. Like me and Tita, Tito Norms, Voltaire, and I don't expect them to agree with me all the time either. Sino ba naman ako? Di naman ako Diyos. Pero we have
Tunay na
to
rin,
also at the same time, char, we have to also at the same time face reality that now people get to know us more on social media. Diba? Yun
Even more
talaga
so
yung
now.
first-hand. Even more so now in this pandemic na wala talagang events. So,
True.
parang girls also need to realize how to handle these things kasi it's there. It's the reality. It may be cruel sometimes, pero may control tayo eh. Diba? Like how we respond to issues, situations. I may not agree with how paano na handle yon all the time, pero it's a reality that we have to educate ourselves with. So kasama na yun din sa pageant preparation kasi given na rin na even with or without titas of pageantry, at least nga naisip ko lang ito ako lang to girls yung titas of pageantry, if they give out criticism then parang may purpose eh. It's because they want to fix your styling, ganito. It's not to make lait.
Tita.
Kasi
Oo.
I've come across a lot of comments, a lot of mean things people I don't know say, and you know that it's just coming from hate, from a rivalry. Alam mo yung ganun lang yung pinaghuhugutan, mababaw. Pero alam mong critique siya na it's served to you not on a silver platter, pero it's true nonetheless. Alam mong hindi lang yung basta naninira. So, iba na ngayon kasi yung tone eh. Like with social media, media now has different voices there. So, it's complex, girls, pero we need to find our way on what kind of ethics we will use to guide us as well. Parang, mamaya kasi sabihin, friends tayo, kampi ako sa'yo
Hindi
sa lahat.
kasi,
Lahat ng
Nicole, di
sinasabi
ba?
mo. Pero
Iba-iba
gets ko
kami
rin
ng
naman
brand.
kasi.
Oo.
Oo,
Like si
true.
Tito Norman,
That's true.
kung tayo lang, ang harot-harot ni Tito Norman, pero syempre
My God!
pero when like you read his materials, parang oo nga, kataas-taasan talaga si Sir Norman. So parang kami naman, umamin ka Nicole, mabait akong tao. Mabait ako, pero syempre, iba yung brand ng Titas of Pageantry. Kasi nga, that's
Iba
why
yung
you're a
voice.
tita. Oo.
Which is
So,
something we need also sa media, na iba-iba yung voice. Kasi paano kung pare-pareho lang naman yung nababasa natin, girls, di ba? My question is,
Ano ba yan?
gaano nga ba kahirap gumawa ng hot pick? Kasi yung mga fans, yun talaga yung tinitignan first hand. And alam kong usually, very neutral yung articles nyo, especially si Tito Norm, si Voltaire. Talaga hindi sinawag si Tita Lavinia. pero kasi hindi naman nag-hot pick si Tita Lavinia.
di ako
Diba?
hotpick.
So, once na naglabas sila Tito Norms and Voltaire, nawala na yung neutrality, di ba? So, ito na yung parang dadamdamin talaga ng mga tao. So, gaano kahirap yung proseso na gumawa ng hot pick?
Usually kasi, sa simula, pag for example, freshly introduced pa lang ang mga candidates, yung mga hot picks are, hindi yan yung mga tipong sarili ko lang kutob yan. I just feel like this girl would do well, or this girl would perform well in the competition. So yung mga unang ano yan, yung mga unang picks yan. Kaya nga, as much as possible, yung mga unang picks, at least sana 50% of the candidates man lang sana ang masama mo para kasama sila sa karamihan. Kaya lang, the problem with 50% is like an upper half and a lower half na. So, ano nangyayari dyan? So, ibig sabihin na sa lower half pala ako. Pero, the thing there is, yung mga susunod na picks na yung second or third, you become more conscious na about how the girls are really performing. So, talagang nagkakaroon na ng shuffling. Yung first, talagang papasok doon yung factor of familiar name, familiar face. Medyo kilala na siya. May recall na yung taong yon. So that's one consideration. Number two, meron talagang angking ganda at alindog ang babae. Talagang she is really beautiful. And three, parang meron feel ka parang, there's something with this girl. Sige nga, isama ko siya. Pero pag nag-second pick na yan, third pick, ayan na, talagang ina-assess mo na talaga yung performance nila so far. Yung pinaka-final pick, yung pinaka-terribling, napakahirap gawin. Because you are practically, parang nagawa ka na ng mga magtatampo sa iyo dyan eh. Talagang, I don't want to say na horror story yon, pero yung mga tampo, nangyayari talaga yan. Kasi, ay, hindi na ako sinama ni Tito Norm sa final niya. Ay, ako magtatampo na ako sa kanya. Yung mga ganun. Hindi nila sabihin sa akin yun, but you know that they have this tampo talaga pag hindi sila nasama. Pero what can I do? People are expecting me. At saka at the end of the day, Nicole, content yan eh. Yung mga pics na yan, mga content yan eh. When you are trying to churn out vlogs day after day after day, you try to think of what to share to your readers. So, yun sa akin.
Voltaire?
You know, like, when I started writing, and then all of a sudden I was faced with having to make predictions. And I hated having to use the word prediction or picks. So I call them best bets. That's like if you look at one articles in Rappler, I called it best bets list. Because I never would pretend to be the one that can predict who the winners are. Because one thing in pageantry, it's unpredictable. Anything can happen at the last moment. But one of the realizations that I first had a hard time actually coming to terms with it was getting to know the girls, and all of a sudden after like a month or two, I have to choose and I have to like, rank or put them in different titles. And I knew that would, make some of them feel bad or yung magtatampo. But I think like with maturity comes that responsibility of, owning up to my job and what I have to do. I have to come up with this list. And it's nothing personal. It's something which is required of me. At the end of the day, how I treat you outside of the pageant and how I treat you during the pageant is completely different. Every single person every single girl that has come my way and is always going to be special. And we're always going to share that bond. Whether you were my choice or not, it's, that depends on you. And that's why let's say Liz, we ended up becoming like really good friends and we'd hang out all the time and then we joke about it. So that also shows the level of maturity of the other person. Now, if the girl refuses and talaga magtatampo siya or hindi ka na niya papansinin like some people.
Oy! Dito lang.
No, I felt like mararamdaman mo yung like hindi ko alam kung guni-guni ko. But
Sino yan? Kilala ko yan.
Certain girls na nung hindi mo siya naging pick because you had an overwhelming pick because this overwhelming pick is just the one that's just gonna really win Miss Universe. And I mean, and then suddenly parang hindi na ako pinapansin siguro dahil hindi ko siya pick. So I just accept that. I don't take it against them kasi siguro kung ako din nagko-compete tapos hindi ako pinili ni Norman na Universe, magagalit din ako sa kanya.
Nagkakaloka.
Talaga, dahil close, kailangan piliin.
Iniintindi ko na lang.
Tito Norman, medyo sumama loob ko sa iyo nun. Char!
Oo, chifera ka.
Ako, hindi ako nagpapa-hot pick hindi kami masyado, hindi. Sobrang non-committal kami. Kasi parang I would rather present yung merits ng isang girl o kaya naman yung kulang sa kanya. So, mahirap sa amin ng mag-hot picks kasi ako talaga nakakaintindi talaga ako kahit na anong tatag mo sa hot picks. Ang ending, kapag nasa stage ka na, tapos walay ka, may rason kung bakit walay ka. Kaya hindi talaga ako nagpapa-hot picks. Although, as media practitioners, nakababad sa social media, may idea ka naman kung sino yung malalakas eh. But not everyone na malalakas nakakapasok. Kaya nga may El Pucuyo, diba? I-add ko na rin pala, these hot picks, kung bakit siya extra non-bearing. Because a lot of the admins, they get contacted by the handlers. And sometimes, i-place mo naman yung alaga ko. So parang feeling ko minsan nawawalan kasi ng integrity.
Yun?
Yung iba kasi, di ba, minsan na e-elbow,
Binabayaran
Oo,
nila.
ng mga handlers.
Do they
I
pay
don't
them?
think naman, Sir Voltaire, na may bayad. It's
Wala.
more parang friends
Pinapakinggan.
tayo eh.
Oo.
Tapos binibigyan ka namin ng scoop, ng first dibs. So parang some of the admins feel ngayon na parang, wait, kailangan mag-reciprocate.
Obligado.
Kaya, oo. Kaya we don't really, unless gusto namin magsalita about it.
Thank you so much sa pinayagan niyo ako na in-interview kayo na I turned the tables this time. Alam kong kinabahan kayo. Char!
Oo, sa mga horror stories mo. Oo.
Matapang ako eh. Chos lang.
Pero thank you so much for sharing your insights for the for tips na rin for our girls, and I hope they can use it for their own improvement. Kasi finally, we see pageantry through your eyes na real talk without thinking of how careful you have to be in terms of yung sa broadsheet lalabas, di ba? Sa content or permanently in social media. So thank you so much for this chikahan portion, and stay
You're
safe.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Thank you for the invite.